All right. Looks like we've
got it already says recording. There we go. Recording.
Okay.
All right. So my name is Nikki Keller. I'm going to be your mediator today. Thank you for coming to me for your mediation needs today. We're going to be focusing on finding a mutual solution to any issue at hand. I will be here to listen and guide both of you. Hopefully we'll end up at a solution that everybody can agree with. Your role here is to be open and honest about your opinions and how you feel. While I will be listening and taking note, I might write a few things down, try to get everybody's opinion and make sure I have it all cleared up. We will be respectful of each other's opinions today. And are there any questions?
No.
Okay, so how about we start by listening to one of your perspectives of the issue here? Either one of you want to?
I'll go. I'm Joanna.
All right.
For everybody. We are roommates. Terry and I are roommates, and I am a music major, and he's a biology major. We live together, and we're having a tough time living together. We have very similar yet opposite schedules where we both want to practice or study at the same time. Mm-hmm. We are fighting over who gets the living room because our bedrooms are far too small to study in. Then we're also fighting about the mess left afterwards. We're also fighting about petty things like food and drink left in the house. And I just don't really understand that being that petty about food and drink, but I'm willing to talk about it with Terry. We have 2 more semesters as roommates, so I would like to work this out so that way we can live in harmony for 2 more semesters, but right now we seem to be fighting too much to make that happen.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Sounds like we have quite a few issues at hand. Terry, would you like to begin with your perspective?
Yeah, I think Joanna covered pretty much the basics of what we're going through right now, and a lot of the problems that we have revolve around the space and not having enough space for each of us to really get the studying done that we want to get done. Mm-hmm. And I have a problem with spending money and trying to figure out what we really I'm worried about spending my money, and I like to make sure I'm spending it on the things I absolutely need, and that's where my issues about the food and drink come in. And so I just want to make sure we get all that figured out, and that way we have a solution that'll benefit both of us, where I can make sure I get my studying done, and Joanna can make sure she gets whatever she needs to get done with her music major, and I can get my biology master's done. And so I think it's just hard figuring out how to balance all that. I think it's hard making sure we do all that while also maintaining the money that we have and making sure we're both fed and kept not thirsty, I suppose. And so it's we haven't been able to come up with a reasonable solution for either of us, and we're looking for some help here.
Okay, so to confirm, your money issues with not wanting to spend the money comes down to food and drinks.
That's where a lot of it is, yeah.
Okay.
And I have problems with how I buy a lot of the food and drink, and Joanna just kind of eats it, and that that becomes that becomes a problem for me.
Okay. So overall, what we're looking for here is to figure out a way where both of you can get your work done for school. And the issue is that you both have a small bedroom, you both have a small living area, you both have to get your stuff done, but it seems like space can be an issue with those small living areas. You have a concern with the mess left after. Eating each other's food and drinks might be an issue here as well. And you have 2 more semesters together, and you want to figure out a way to resolve these issues if you're going to be roommates and living in such a close space together.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay. So we figured out what exactly we're looking for here. So I'm thinking that we should come up with some options in how to solve these issues. So as far as options go, whenever someone needs to do their work while the other is there, maybe we can come to an agreement. And again, I don't need an answer from you yet. I'm just going to be listing out these options. So whenever someone needs to do their work while the other is there, maybe we can come to an agreement that whoever is there at the time and needs to do their work, whether you're both there, you need to go and do the work at another location, perhaps a library, maybe a music studio, anywhere that this may work out. I don't know if the college for your music degree has an area for that, but we might be able to figure out a way for whoever needs to do their work maybe needs to go somewhere else to prevent a mess, to prevent clutter of space, and to prevent noisiness in each other's, that intrudes on each other's work and thinking. I'm thinking that if only one of you is there, you can do all the work you need, but once the other joins and returns from wherever they were before, they may need to step out and leave to respect the other person's either relaxing time or work time, whatever that may be. So those are my things I'm thinking on working. As far as food and drinks go, maybe we can consider not sharing the food and drink, your own food and drinks, so that there's not an issue with someone running out of their food because the other ate theirs. And that way both of you can spend money on your own things. Let me write these options down before we go into discussion about them. Okay. So does anyone have an issue with leaving while they do their own work for school, whether it's music or?
My instruments are kind of burdensome to move. I can move them back and forth if I have to between my room and the front room and keep them in my room so it's a little tidier. But I think that we should probably figure out a schedule that we can study in the living room, because I imagine your research books are pretty heavy as well, right, Terry?
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, I have a backpack and it wouldn't be as much of an issue for me to walk to a library or whatever than it would be for you to carry a harp or what have you. So that could be an option.
Okay, so it seems like Terry may have some lighter objects that he needs to transfer from place to place.
I'd be willing to pack those up and take them wherever I need to if that, helps resolve the conflict that we're having,
Okay. So Terry is willing to move his workspace. And this is only to confirm when she needs the space or the space is an issue.
Exactly. Plus, she's going to be making music and noise and what have you, and so it might just be better for me to go to somewhere quiet like a library.
Correct.
And I have no problem putting my instruments back in my room afterwards to keep our common area clean and tidy.
Okay, so it sounds like the relaxing time is figured out and Terry's time is figured out. Okay, and Joanna is willing to move her instruments, and then Joanna can have the main room or her bedroom, whichever suits best when she needs them.
Yeah.
And Terry is expected to figure out where to move.
Mhm.
I'm glad that we can all come to agreement on that. As goes for food and drinks, Terry, you are purchasing food and drinks, and Joanna is eating some of your food and drinks.
Yeah, that is a problem I have.
Okay, and have you considered eating some of hers?
I mean, I would be, I have, but at the same time, it's not stuff I really want to eat. She doesn't buy a lot of the same kind of food I buy, and that becomes a problem.
Okay, so you have different tastes.
Yeah.
That is very natural. So, Joanna, how would you feel about just eating your own food and not eating Terry's food?
Well, I come from a family where everybody just comes and goes and shares what's there. I never really thought about the fact that we would have separate food.
Mhm.
So I'm sorry if I'm eating some of your food, but you're more than welcome to mine, and I can start potentially buying more things that you like. Maybe we can start going to the grocery store together in order to share our food.
Mm, okay, that I think the idea of going to the grocery store together sounds like a good solution where we're both there and we're both buying what the other one needs and maybe what we want to buy at the same time. I think that could be a good compromise right down the middle.
Perfect. And Terry, if for whatever reason you still don't like Joanna's personal preference food, maybe she can buy some of yours to make
Yeah,
what she eats.
exactly. I think that could be a really good compromise.
Awesome. Sounds like we came up with a good solution to that. So, do we have any more issues at hand that we would like to go over?
Um, One issue that I didn't originally bring up is that I feel like I'm not getting as much respect from Terry about my major. I feel like he doesn't necessarily take music seriously. So I would just like to make sure that that's in the agreement about our study time, is that it is a very rigorous program, and I need to keep my grades up because I am on a full scholarship. So I feel like I am deserved a little bit more respect.
Mm-hmm. Terry, would you agree with what she said?
I Yes, somewhat, yeah. I find it hard to, you know, I can admit that I find it hard to really treat her with the same kind of respect I treat my other peers with when it's, I have never been really I guess I've never really been a part of a music program and I've never seen how rigorous it might be. And so I've kind of just had this outside stereotypical view of what a music major might be without really understanding what goes into it.
Okay.
And that's been really hard for me to then or to consider ourselves like equals in terms of studying when like I'm out doing, all this biology stuff and working on a thesis and, all that sort of stuff. And, she's just playing music. It's hard for me to equal those two things.
Of course, of course. I can respect everyone's opinion, but do you think that you will be able to respect her major since
I
she respects yours?
I think now that it's out there and now that we've talked about it, I can try to give it a shot and I can try to, maybe be less of a jerk about it in the long run.
And be mindful that her major probably consists just as much hard work as
Oh
yours,
yeah, yeah, for sure.
just
You
in
know,
different subjects.
yeah, I think, yeah, definitely. I think I can start to work on that and, try to give her the respect she deserves. I mean, we're
Okay.
both students after all.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Tara, do you have any more issues?
No, I think that's about it. Just trying to, make sure our study time is figured out and the living room situation's figured out as well as our purchasing decisions when it comes to food and drinks. I think that's about all I had.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll try to work on, or I will work on showing Joanna the respect she deserves here for her major. And, you know, I think we'll be able to get along fine.
I think so too.
Alrighty. Oh,
Sorry. You have no
They're
more
done.
issues.
No more issues.
Okay,
alrighty.
so just to confirm, Terry is willing to move his study time elsewhere, maybe a quieter spot and a spacier spot. That will also prevent some of the clutter in the space. Joanna will move her instruments into her own bedroom to also prevent some clutter, and it will give her a space to relax as well when is needed, so that you guys can relax in the living area, watch TV, whatever you may do. You will go to the store together. Joanna may buy some of Terry's things, and she likes to eat his stuff. And Terry, you are welcome to her stuff, but if that isn't the case, again, she is repaying you by purchasing some of your food and drink items. And Terry will work on respecting Joanna's major and understand that just because music and biology are very different, they do consist of the same amount of work.
Alrighty.
All right, I'm glad that we can all come to agreement today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thanks.
Alrighty.
Stop.